Hey, this is Mr. C, and thanks for tuning into your next math lesson, 3.3, Estimating Products and Quotients. Once you have your name and your date and this title written, we're moving on in 3, 2, 1. Now you're checking your homework. Please pause the video now. We're moving on in 3, 2, 1. Alright, so I don't see anything written up here. I know that Mr. C is going to do his first example with me not writing anything. Estimating products and quotients. How can you use estimation to find a product? The students at Waldron Middle School are selling tins of popcorn to raise money for new uniforms. They sold 42 tins in the first week. Estimate how much money the students have raised selling popcorn in the first week. I then have a question. If there's 42 tins, they want me to know how much. Well, how much money does each cost? And then I looked over here and I saw that each tin cost $9.25 each. And we're trying to use estimation. I know that I could multiply 42 times $9.25, but how could I estimate about how much did they make? They said estimate. Well, one way we've already talked about. We've talked about rounding each factor, which just means rounding to the whole number. So 42 rounds down to 40. That's close to that. And $9.25 rounds down to 9 because 25 cents is not closer to 10. And then we do 40 times 9. It's about $360 that they made the first week. The students raised about $360 the first week. That's one way. The second way over here, in my opinion, requires more thought, but it can pay off big time if you understand what I'm saying. Estimate using compatible numbers. There's a slide right after this which will have this for Vocabnotes, so don't worry about it right now. Compatible numbers are close to the actual numbers, but they are easy to compute mentally, easy to find out mentally. So we have 42 times $9.25 that we got from up here. First, I know that 9 is kind of close to 10. I mean, it's, 5 would be closer, farther away from 10, but 9 is pretty close to 10, so let's round that to 10, because I know that anything you multiply by 10 is pretty easy to solve. So then we can just keep 42 at 42, and 42 times 10 is 420. So then our answer would be the students raised about $420 the first week. Notice how, these are a little bit different. They're a little bit close, but you will get different answers in estimating because it's not the actual answer. Going on. We were using multiplication, so here are vocab notes. Please pause the video to make sure all of this is written. And we are going on in 3, 2, 1. Previews that to... Alright, so here's example 1, and I'll show you what I want you to write. Let's read the question first. How can you use estimation to find a quotient? Well, that's kind of different from quotient. But we're going to use the same strategies. So I see rounding each factor, so that's talking about the whole number. And I also see compatible numbers. So we're going back to the same method, so I'm not just out in the blue. So let's go to this first way. Estimate 7 83/100 divided by 3 and 8 tenths by rounding each factor. Well, I see that 8 is more than 5. We're going to round that up to 8. It was 7 up to 8. And I know that 8 makes us 3 into a 4. So we have 8 divided by 4. That's really nice because that's an easy problem. It's about 2. So this problem is about 2. Notice the wiggly equal mark. Whenever you estimate, you need to have a line like this because that means is about equal to. This is equal to. This is about equal to. Let's go on to another way. Estimate 44.3 divided by 6.7 using compatible numbers. Let me talk about how we would get this. This is a different problem than the one over here, just so you know, so we are going to have a different answer. So follow my train of thought right here. I see that 6.7 is about 7. I'm going to round that up to 7 as a whole number. Now I'm thinking, how did they get 42? Well, we rounded this one first, and I'm thinking in my head, what is close to 44.3 that can divide easily by 7. We're talking about compatible numbers. We can do it in our head. That's what we want to do. What number can divide easily by 7 that's close to this? And so we landed at 42 because we know that we can divide 42 by 7 and we can get 6. And so that's just smart. We're just, you pick, what's close to that. So then we'd write our answer. 44.3 divided by 6.7 is about equal to 6. Notice how they had the is about equal to because we estimated. What should we write? Well, you should write this part and then also write what's inside that. that box. Once you're done, please unpause the video. We're moving on in 3, 2, 1. Here's example 2. You're going to try to do this by yourself. Come back and check the answers. Notice how there's different methods. This one you're going to do rounding, and we know that's going to be using whole numbers. And this one you're using compatible numbers. So you're thinking 9.34 times 6.68. Ah, man, how could I make that easier on myself? What's close to that? So the answer that I come up with might be different than yours, but yours might make sense as well. So unpause the video when you're ready. My answers are coming in 3, 2, 1. All right, and again, when we estimate, we're just trying to make it as easy as possible. My estimations are in green, and then we should have written, the is about equal to our estimation down here, which I just copied the problem. So 6.8 is about 7, 53 is about 50, and that's equal to 350. I just did that because it's the easiest way to do it. You could have done it differently. And I looked here, what's an easy one that I want to round this to? Well, I want to take away from that 20. I want to have as many zeros as possible. So 3,500, and I know that 7 is close to this one, so I have divided by 7. The 8 makes the 6 into a 7. Luckily, I can do that in my head. I know that 35 divided by 7 is 5, and then I'm going to add those 2 zeros, and I get 500. Down here, I know this is kind of a stretch because I'm rounding up on both. But this is about 10 because I want to do it in my head. And this is it's closer to 1 than it is 0, so I'm going to put it at 1, and it's about 10. You could also round this to 0.50, half of a dollar. There's my answer. And this one's closer to 36, that's closer to 9. That's really nice that I can do that in my head. When you're done with this, please unpause the video in 3, 2, 1. Here are the problems that I'm asking you to do in your book, 67 numbers 11 through 26. You actually get to pick what 6 problems you would like to do. The answers will come in 3, 2, 1. Here are your answers. After you check your answers, just so you know, these are some sample answers. So you might have estimated it differently. They're just giving you one way that you could have estimated it. After you're done with that, please go to your gas station on Socrative and then choose whether you'd like to do the group math game from the activity folder by the door first and then Khan Academy, or Khan Academy right away. Remember, with the group math game, you're going to need to work in a partner or a group of 3 depending on the game that you choose. And again, today is 3.3, so you'd look in the lesson 3 folder. And here are your answers for the group game in 3, 2, 1. Here are your group game answers, and if you didn't remember, you are awesome. Thanks for watching this video.